In Washington, D.C., after the 2008 ruling by the Supreme Court to strike down handgun ban and trigger laws, the murder rate dropped drastically. After this strike down in Washington, D.C., it dropped from 80 murders per 100,000 people in the early 90s to 15 murders per 100,000 people in 2014. Countless stories can be heard of where someone that had a gun, either in public or in their own home, saved their own lives and others. One story I'll tell you about today. Dr. Susan Garcia shared a personal testimony with the Texas legislator. This was her story. A man had drove his car into a cafeteria where her and her parents were eating. He started shooting. She normally carried her gun in her purse, but on that day, she didn't have it on her. Her father decided to try to be a hero and stop the gunman, so he went towards him, and of course, the gunman shot him in the chest. She still had her mother with her, and the gunman went a different direction, so she decided to get her mom and run out the other door out of the cafeteria restaurant. She darted out, but unfortunately her mother did not follow her. Her mother went to her father's side and held him. The gunman came back around and shot her mother in the head. She didn't have her gun on her that day because of the Texas legislation of it sometimes being a felony to carry a gun in your purse. She took it out. She ended up losing her father and mother to that shooter that day. She also notes in her story that the guns didn't do this. Instead, the laws prevented her from legally carrying her gun in her purse and possibly saving and defending her life, her parents, and possibly others. The Second Amendment, she quotes, "The Second Amendment is not about duck hunting. It's about our right to protect ourselves from all of you up there." And she was referring to the government, the legislators. In 2008, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that the Second Amendment protected individuals' right to possess firearms unconnected to any service in militia. The Second Amendment right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon. The Second Amendment is about we the people's rights to protect ourselves. Countless stories have shown where there is higher gun ownership and or less gun regulation, the fewer the crimes. Not only are the studies and the statistics there, but also countless stories and testimonies from citizens of examples where gun ownership saves their lives and others from occurring and from potential crime. If we have heard it from the horse's mouth, criminals, that the fear of a victim possibly possessing a gun deterred them from committing the crime, why on earth would we have gun control?